Alright, we're starting a new video where we're going to take a look at the plumbing in this bathroom. We've got quite a bit of work to do installing half stems and a rain shower head for the shower. So half stems and a rain shower head from the Hansgrohe Axor range. The half stems and rain shower head are heavy, so I need to make supports for both. We'll connect everything with Geberit multi-layer flat piping. It's special because it seals directly onto the pipe. All of this goes into the attic where we'll connect everything to the copper coming in. So we've installed the water heater, we've connected everything, it all goes up into the attic, and now I need to connect everything together. But I'm going to connect everything, so to speak, temporarily, because I can't install my floor until the framework is modified. So the goal is to take the flat bar, pull it out so it sticks out about 52 feet from the joists. I'm going to install a valve for the rain shower. I absolutely want to isolate it, because if one day I have to do maintenance on it, I'll be glad to be able to use the mixer. The shower head, and the rain shower will be isolated. Same goes for hot and cold water inlets for the tub and shower. Each has its own valve, so the valve comes out there. I connect everything directly to the copper, and once I've installed my floor, well, a hole with a 6-hole saw. In the oriented strand board, we pass it over and that's it. I can connect everything directly using manifolds installed on top. So we'll get back to it when we do the work upstairs, and you'll see the final installation of the multi-layer pipes. I have flat elbows and manifolds. Right now, I want to connect everything directly to check for leaks and ensure it works. Earlier, I mentioned the water heater when talking about previous episodes. Earlier, I tinted and rolled smoothing compound onto the back wall and the small return by the switch on this partition. I smoothed and sanded everything, but I wasn't satisfied because it left rings and marks. I'm stubborn, so I dusted off, applied another coat with the roller, smoothed it, filmed it for you, and will film the second coat too. I'll sand everything with 1000 grit, and if I'm satisfied, I'll apply 2 coats of sealer and varnish for a perfect finish. That was a little side note. Now we're going to tackle the plumbing and install the faucets. So, under the current siphon, we have about 21 cm next. We're going to install the Viraquin Nano 6.7, and we should normally go up to more than 30 cm. So we're going to gain 9 cm, well, more than 9 cm of space under the siphon. So I removed the hand basin, and that allows me to check that. At the level of the trap, everything is fine. We can see that the tightening ring is rusty, but for now, it's holding the hand basin. He was small. Glue spots on the right are enough. People often use too much glue, press down the basin, and it squeezes out everywhere, making removal later require cutting multiple times. I'll put 2 glue spots on each side, that's plenty. The siphon is right here. The seal is completely worn out. It's going straight to the trash. I'm not even going to try to figure it out though. Well, this is chrome-plated plastic, but it can still come in handy. I'll keep it. The same applies to the finish, basin, sink, hand washer, and overflow systems. I keep everything in a bin, so if a client has an emergency, we just pick from it and manage. So we have a gasket on the top and a gasket integrated into the tightening ring. That's why it's important to make a chamfer on your polyvinyl chloride to avoid damaging the gasket when unlocking. Turn a quarter, insert the polyvinyl chloride, and tighten another quarter turn. That's it. Next, the upper part will screw on like this, so I'm going to cut it at this level. Because depending on the thickness of your cabinet, sink, or wash basin, you need to cut the part that's right here. Everything is explained in the instructions. And if you have an overflow system, you cut out the window that's here and do the same on the other side. But I don't have an overflow system, so I don't need to cut them out. Okay, so this, just like that, goes here, and then we connect it. So the goal is to place the polyvinyl chloride into the siphon and make sure the seal is properly positioned. That's very important. Next, we screw in the drain fitting, and I don't use any tools. We're only going to tighten it by hand, and of course, we check that it's properly tightened once it's secure. Just a small quarter turn for the ring fits well with the molded steel, and we're set. We put the finishing piece with the membrane for noise and odors, press it down, it goes click clack, it works, it's perfect. We run some water and check that there are no leaks, but since it's Birkin, it's quality, there are no leaks at all. The space saving is huge because before I had 22 cm, I think. Well, the chrome threading took up space, but even so, it's a considerable space saving. It's sturdy, it's not going anywhere, it's glued. Bolted in this direction, screw, unscrew in every direction. You could hang from it, so the glue isn't completely dry yet. Let it dry, then use a box cutter. So my bathtub support is the same as my shower support, and from behind on the inside, that's how it looks. We have 6 cm of plywood. Same for the bathtub. Now some people will tell me that's way too much. But the system I'm going to install is the Hansgrohe Axor range. It has a special feature, which is that the block you see comes in several sizes. You do the installation based on the block, so there are several possible configurations. This block weighs a certain amount. We're not just dealing with a simple mounting plate that you attach to a drywall panel with anchors. Expansion. It's quite heavy and it will only be mounted on my plywood support. In the area we see here, we have Mini Max coming up. The drywall waterproofing, the tiles, the grout all around, that's it. It's only attached to that. It doesn't depend on the drywall. So you need to make something sturdy. It's done. We let the glue dry. Here you see we have small holes, threaded rods, washers, nuts against nuts. Anyway, you'll see everything. So this block will be able to install it for the bathtub and the shower, cold water supply, hot water supply. So this is the view from below, the shower, the rain shower head for the bathtub filling. And here we have the shower head. So we'll need to run the multi-layer pipe for the fittings and plates. Same for the bathtub. We're going to connect everything. I'll cut the panel to connect the bathtub filling. The fittings are here. We'll do the sealing and use tangent unilock. And once that's done, we'll be able to cut the drywall and put the drywall in place to close off this side and these two sides. And here, I set it aside for myself, so I marked it, I don't remember where, here and there, a full tile. I want to make a hatch for myself here, but at least I have access in case I need it. You saw how the glue swells up and underneath. It's oozing everywhere, so I'll have a hatch, an access point. On this side, it's just the back of a closet, so I only need to move furniture if I need access. Okay, so we put the mixer blocks in place and run down the hot water and cold water pipes. Let me show you my masterpiece, the rain shower, threaded rod, rail. So this part will of course go above the ceiling, we'll make a hole in the plasterboard, and then we'll lower this part, threaded rod, rail. Why? Because I'll be stuck between the joists, and this allows me to adjust the level, the height, you get it. But originally we have these little pads that are in place of the threaded rods. On a concrete slab, it lets you adjust both height and level. So I'm going to attach plywood, scraps of 3cm plywood that I used to fix the mixers as stop screws. And we'll put the rails on top, screw them in, and that's it. Okay, so for the finish, we'll put it in place with the little rosette to cover the hole, and we'll be done with that. It's super easy to install. We have one water inlet, a second one, a third one. So I blocked off 2 of them. Of course, because my mixer only has 1 outlet for the rain shower. But if you have a mixer with multiple jets, you have 2 other inlets. Okay, so let's head up to the attic. We'll install it, and then we'll put on the finishing touches. So whether it's for the shower mixer or the bathtub mixer, well, it's the same story. We have the hot and cold water supply underneath, and then I go up for the bathtub filling on top, or the rain shower for the shower. So now I'm going to turn on the water. I'll unscrew this cap and this cap to let the air out. As soon as I see a drop of water, I'll close it back up. At least it'll be under pressure, and I'll check that there are no leaks. All right, let me give you a quick overview of the installation. Hot water supply, cold water supply. It comes down from the attic, so it's the flat rhythmic pipe. It's bent and it's crimped under the mixer. Here we have the bathtub filling, and it goes underneath. Here are the clamps and rails. It comes down from the attic. Everything is secured. It's perfect. So what I was telling you at the beginning of the video about this section of the wall is that I previously coated it, so it's tinted plaster. I didn't like the sanding, so I added another layer of plaster. If the sanding suits me, I'll seal, prime, varnish, and that'll be it. As for the bathtub, I glued it and filled it with water. We wait 24 hours for the glue to dry well, or even 48 hours, and once the glue has dried, we empty the bathtub. And for that, it's the same, it's done. The hatch here is big enough. I just need to add some screws to the panel. I'm missing a few, but I have access to the drain and the filling of the bathtub. Rear view of the mixer for both shower and bathtub. Hot and cold water inlets are crimped under the mixer. And here I'm running the supply for the rain shower. So I added some clamps by screwing plywood behind this plasterboard. The nut is embedded in the filler, and of course I put a lock nut on, and honestly it's not going anywhere. Okay, so I was able to secure the rain shower supply. Over there I have an electrical supply. That's the outlet for the niche, the lighting. I need to fix it in a corner. And here I'll have a hatch running all along, because from this line to that line it's going to be solid tile. So I'll have access to the mixer and the outlet. So the installation of the shower tray, you saw that earlier in a video. Same for the niche and the lighting. The rain shower head itself weighs quite a bit. Make sure the fixings are secure, but you can easily remove a small screw, turn the ring, and it comes off. It's perfect for maintenance. I did the same for the niche in the same episode as the mixer, I think. But I ran into a problem because this actually interests me. It's about centering this part. That's my mixer block. So it's centered in relation to the niche and the shower tray. It's level, it's centered with a full tile, so it's perfect. But on the other hand, the bracket you see here is narrower than over there, so it shifts the mixer. If we base it on the brackets, I'm only basing it on that. At the bathtub, I'm not bothered because the studs are wider. But here I had to set it at least to 50 for the niche, and this one is 50.4. So I thought with 2 mm I'll just cut some plastic, but even that shifts the mixer, so I had to push the stud. Geberit Duo Fix, so it's good that it's Geberit Duo Fix. It comes apart very easily. I pushed it back, I added some plywood. These are scraps, supports, so I can fix the niche. It hasn't moved, it's perfect, and I added studs to hold the drywall. And here I bent this part. Because when running the pipes, honestly, with gloves cuts, it's like a little razor blade, so you have to be really careful. So I put it all along, and now I can screw in my drywall. Okay, so it's moving forward. I'm really happy. The next step will be waterproofing the shower, waterproofing around the bathtub, and once everything is done, we can tackle the finishing touches. Floor tiling, wall tiling, we paint the ceiling. I can take my bath. Next, I'll install the last plasterboards in the bathroom. I have 2 for the shower. We're making an access hatch for the mixer. On the bathtub side, I need to install one, and in the closet, I'll make boxes for mixer access. We'll need to do the joints. There aren't many, but they're necessary. However, the key step is waterproofing, which we'll cover in this video. Don't skip it. It's essential for creating a great bathroom. If you skip the waterproofing and you have water damage, you'll regret it, because a bucket of waterproofing doesn't cost a fortune. So we'll talk about it in the next video. In the meantime, take care, enjoy your do-it-yourself projects, and see you very soon.